Yeah. Today's topic, which we are going to discuss, is access modifiers or access specifiers. Access modifiers or access specifiers. So in C Sharp, we have keywords called as private, public, protect, internal, protected internal. Like that, we have five types of keywords which are called as access modifier or access specifiers. Access modifiers or access specifiers. Okay, so those are access modifiers or access specifier are interchangeable words here. Modifier or specifiers. Okay, so
Both are same.
yeah, both are same only. I mean to say, someone call those are modifiers, and someone calling those are specifiers. Access modifiers or access specifiers. Okay, so let's see one by one. So basically, where we are using that one is, let me go to the example. So if I have a class. Let's take one simple class example using system. Okay, so this is a simple class which we are declaring. It has one namespace which is called as system namespace. Sorry, we are inheriting one namespace which is called as system, and we are declaring our user defined namespace which is called as NAC hook, and we are declaring a class with the name program. Inside that class, we have the this main method, static void main method. So last time we have seen one program with the help of this one structure. So in while explaining the concept of structure, we have created one method without having any access specifier, and we were trying to access that method by creating the object for our class. That time we have seen a problem saying that we are not able to see that method itself as it is a private method. Okay, same thing I'm gonna explain here. So let me remove this. So as it is a class, what I'm gonna do is I'm just declaring a few. I'm going to change my class name as product. As it is a product, I'm going to let's declare here. So else control Z program. Here what I'm going to do, I'm going to declare one class here with the name product. As it is a product, we can have names as integer product ID. Okay. String product name. Okay, and after that we have float product price. Okay, like that we have the three member variables for that particular class. After that we have a method which is called as void get product details. This is the method. Here what we are doing is console.writeLine. given the product details are product ID product ID 0 space product name 0 sorry 1 product price 2. Here I'm declaring product ID comma product name price. Okay, so this is how I declare a class. My class name is product, where I have declared 3 member variables. Along with this member variables, I declare one more method which is called as get product details. Inside that get product details, we just writing one one write line statement to print the output to the end user. So with the product ID, product name and product price. So this is the simple class which I declare. So now the intention is I want to create a object for the class, and from there I want to assign these variables values, and after this I want to print those product ID, product name and the product price details. So how we can create a class, Muzaffar? How we can create the object for the class? How we can create an object for our product class?
Okay, product
Product
product obj is
obj
equal
equal
to
to
new
product
product parenthesis close
parenthesis open.
semicolon.
Yes. So this is
Yeah,
how we can create the object for our class. So once we
yeah.
declare the object for our class, how we can assign the value for our class member variable? So how we can assign the value for our member variable?
After obj dot get product details, then we can assign the value.
Yeah. So obj dot
Obj get
dot.
product details.
No, it's not the get product details.
Yeah. So product ID.
Product ID. So, but am I able to see my product ID here?
No, no.
Okay. No, right?
Yeah.
So, because
No, no.
the problem here is this is where our access modifier or access specifier playing a important role in our programming. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So,
So in order we
so
need to
in
give
order,
public, then only we
correct,
can.
correct. In order to expose your member variables, in order to expose your so in order to expose your member variables, wait a second, Muzaffar.
Okay.
Okay, so here so we are trying to access our particular member variable through the object obj object name, but we are not able to access those member variables because as we are not specifying the any access modifier here, like private or public or protected internal or protected internal, as we are not specifying the any access modifier here, by default inside a class all members or all methods will have the default access modifier as private.
Private.
Private is the default access modifier for the internal members of a class.
Yeah.
Internal members of a class, that might be the member variables, or that might be the methods. For all, if I haven't defined any access modifier, by default the class will assign one access modifier which is called as private. Okay, so for private in the sense that is available, those member variables or those member methods are available for this class only. For this
Okay.
class only it will available to access. So how I am saying that for this class only I am able to access. See, I can able to access my product ID from the get product details method, right?
Yeah.
Here I am able to access it, and product name also I am able to access it, price also I am able to access it. But when I am trying to access outside of the class, it is not allowing here. Okay,
Mhm.
so in order to make your member variables or member methods securable, then you need to, or we need to use this access modifiers or access specifiers. Okay, so how
Yeah.
I will give an example again. For example, I have a class. Okay, so inside my class, that class is employee class. Assume that that is an employee class. Okay,
Yeah.
if it is an employee class, it will have the member variables like this: name. Employee will have the name. Employee will have the email ID, employee will have the particular mobile number, and employee will have the designation, and employee will have the salary. Okay, and employee will have some other kind of attributes. Okay, if you see these attributes, so name I can expose to the anyone. So as a organization, I can expose the employee name to any of the employees, right? At the
Yeah.
same time, email ID also I can able to expose. Okay, and if you see salary details, okay, is it good way to expose the salary of a person to others? Salary of a employee to the other employee. Is it good way to expose that information? No, right? So because that is a confidential information. As it is a confidential information, there is if I expose that information to the all the employees, one employee salary may visible for the other employees as well. Okay, so that's a not good way to expose that confidential information to one employee to the another employee. So if that is the case, what we can do is whatever the attribute we don't want to expose, we will make it as a private. Okay, whatever the attributes we want to expose to the other classes as well, then make them as a public. Then everyone can able to access it. Name, everyone can able to access it. Email ID also can able to access it. Okay, that's where to secure our member variables or secure our member methods, we are using the access modifiers. Okay, so let me tell you like how many access modifiers we have. Access access modifiers. One, we have private. Okay. Second, public. Third, protected. Fourth, we have internal. Fifth, we have protected internal. Okay, these are the access modifiers available in the C# programming. Okay, so if we want to explain about the access modifier, so how we can define the access modifier is it's a way of secure our member variable or member method. Simple definition what we can say for the access modifier is access modifier can help us to secure our member variables or member methods as per our need. Okay, so we can have the that accessibility we can control our accessibility mechanism of our member variables and member methods in our C# program by using these access modifiers: private, public, protected, internal, protected, internal. Okay, so that basic theory, did you understand, Muzaffar?
Yeah, according to our need, we can able to give it like a private, public,
Protected internal,
the
protected internal,
protected internet.
we can able to give it.
It
So
is
this is the
in the C sharp
introduction,
program.
introduction of a access modifier. So basically what I want to explain to you here is access modifier. Before jump into the examples, I am giving a theory how we can use this access modifier and what is the use of this access modifier. Okay, so with my explanation, what I want to explain to you is access modifiers are used to control your member variables or member methods in a secure manner. Okay, so that is
Yes,
where
madam.
we can use the access modifier. In C# we have private, public, protected, internal or access modifier. Okay, let's see one by one how we can work with the access modifiers. Okay, so let's take one example. So let's start with the private. Let's start with the private access modifier.
Yeah, this example is good, Madan bhai. Can we use for private?
Yeah, this also we can we can use it. So basically, here we declared one class with the attributes with the name as product, and for this we have declared these many attributes instance member variables: product
Very
ID, product name, product price, and we have defined one more method here to display the information of a particular product along with product ID, product name, and price. And to work with this particular class, what we did is we create the object for that particular class with the name obj, and we are trying to access our product ID, product name, and product price with the object here. So whenever we are trying to access our member variables or member methods of a particular product class, we are not able to see anything here. Okay, the
yeah.
the the reason why we are not able to see that particular member variables or member methods with the object here is we haven't specified any access modifier for that particular class. As we haven't specified, by default class give them as a one access modifier which is called as private. Okay, so if it is a
Yeah.
private, it is only accessible inside the class only. Outside the class, it
Yeah.
is not possible to access. So that is the keyword that is the access modifier private. That is the functionality of an access modifier private. Okay, so that is
By
one
default in
thing.
a by default in a class. It will be private and it can't be accessed outside the class.
outside of the class. So how we are
Yes.
saying by default? So while declaring this particular integer product ID, we haven't specified any access modifier here. I
Yes.
haven't defined either it is a private or either it is a public. I haven't defined like this. So as we haven't defined anything, by default it will give the access modifier like this. For all it will give like this. Even if you even though we haven't specified, internally the behavior will be like this. Okay. So
Yes, madam.
this is the private, and if you go and see the this public access modifier. So if I change this access modifier from private to the public, I can able to access outside of the class only, class as well, public. If I change this access modifier from private to public, okay. So now try to access the members. See, I can able to see all my member variables along with this method as well, right?
Yeah.
So I can give the
Yes, madam.
product ID as 1 for my object, obj dot product name I'm giving as abc obj dot product price I'm giving as 10,000. Okay, and also I can able to call my method which is called as get product details. So once I call, it will hit the particular get product details and it will print the output. So to hold the output for our console purpose, console dot read line. I'm just writing this to hold the output for our test purpose.
Yes.
So once I call this one, automatically the product this product ID, product name, product price will assign the values like this and it will printed like this. Product details are product ID 1, product name ABC, and product price is 10,000. Like that we can able to we can able to work with the all our member variables and member methods with the public access modifier. So if I declare a public, I can able to access my all class members and member variables and the member methods outside of the class as well. So that's the use of
Okay.
public access modifier. So if I declared my member variable and member method as a public, I can able to access that everywhere. So there is a no
Yes.
restriction here. I can able to access it for everywhere. That name itself will self-explanatory here. Public means it can able to access everywhere. Okay. So let's
Yes.
see the another one which is called as a protected. So I'm not sure this is the right time to explain or not, but let me try this with this protected. What is this protected access modifier here is in C Sharp we have a concept called as inheritance. Okay, in C Sharp
Mhm.
we have a concept called as inheritance. That is one of the object-oriented programming principle. Okay, so while working with that particular inheritance concept, we are using this protected. So let me give one simple example where we can use this protected internal. So let's take protected access modifier. Okay, so what we are doing here is I have the one class which is called as customer, and inside that we declare two particular member variables which is called as first name and last name, and inside that I have one method which is called as print full name, and whenever I'm writing this one, automatically print full name will print like this. Okay, I have another class which is declared here. I have another class which is declared. So that class I am giving is customer derived. Okay, so here I am mentioning that colon and the other class name. Colon and the other class name. What does it mean here is uh, whatever the properties or whatever the methods are available in this particular customer class, I'm going to use this information into another class. I'm going to use that information into another class. So which is called as customer derived class. Okay, inside that if you see here, as I'm so I think this is not the right example for us. So test to print. Okay, so yeah, let's see this example only, Muzaffar here. What I'm trying to
Yeah, it
do,
looks very easy.
yeah, it look very easy compared to that one. So what I want to explain here is this protected access modifier. To explain the concept of protected access modifier, we need to understand one concept of C#, which is called as inheritance. What is that inheritance here is deriving the new class with the help of existing class is called as inheritance. So let me show you how we can do that. For example, so we have a class this product, okay, and let me derive the product manufacturer. Okay, I'm going to define one more class here with the name product manufacturer. So
Yeah,
this is the product class and this is product manufacturer class. Okay,
right.
inside the product manufacturer class, whatever the properties I have, so I can declare something like this one. So here, mm,
Date of manufacture.
yeah, manufacturer ID, and manufacturer name, manufacturer name, and manufacturer date. Date, as you said, date. As it is a date, we have a one data type which is called as date type. We can use a date time as a data type. Okay, so this is the information. But if you see here, I'm going to change something here with the access modifiers, and this I'm going to move to the manufacturer class. Okay, this I'm going to move to the manufacturer class. Here I just declare the this information. Now what I'm going to do here is here public this I am going to is let's first do without having this product class. What I'm doing here is my intention is I want to uh, get the full details of a product, including product information as well as manufacturer information. I need to get the product information as well as manufacturer information. I have two classes. One is the product class, another one is a product manufacturer class. So I want to get the complete information of a particular product here. So to do that one, what I did is I have declared one class where I have declared all my member variables, and I have declared the another class where I declared the related information of that particular class. Okay, so here I declared one more method get product details to print the all details of a particular product along with the product information along with product and the manufacturer information. I want to put it together. So if I want to do such a way here, am I able to access my product details inside this product manufacturer? So
No.
I'm not able to access it. Even though if you put as a public, I can't able to access that information to the outside of the class because this is another class. I can't able to access it until I get create the object for my class. Okay.
Yes.
So if I want to do such a way, what here this protected will help in a different manner. So how we can do that one is protected. If I declare a protected here, okay, and if I try to inherit this product class, see I can able to access it, right?
Yes.
So now I am not able to get any error here. Okay, so but if
Yes.
you see, if I create the object for my product class, am I able to access my product ID here?
No.
No. So what does it mean is uh, if uh, if you declare particular access modifier as protected inside the inside a class, whichever class is trying to inherit that particular class, inside that class only you can able to use those members. Here,
Yes. Like.
here we have a product class and here we have a product manufacturer class. So we defined our access modifier as a protected. As we declared our access modifier as a protected for these members, when I'm trying to inherit this product class into the product manufacturer class, there is a possibility of access those members from the product manufacturer class. Why? Because it's already inherit that information into the product manufacturer.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where we can use this protected access modifier. So the protected access modifier will help us to access the member variables or member methods for a particular class which is going to be inherited to the another class. Okay. So inside the inherited class only we can able to access if I define the protected. So outside of the class I can't able to access it. Only whatever the class is going to inherit this class, inside that class only we can able to access. Okay.
Like
So
mean class product is a parent class, so
correct,
this product manufacturing is a child class,
child
so it
class.
is inheriting the small from this.
Yeah,
But how it is how is inheriting means through product manufacture semicolon product by
correct.
this method.
Yeah, by this, by following this kind of syntax, we are inheriting our manufacturer class from the product class. We are extending our information. Basically, in this information, in this class, we have three variable information, and we are going to create one more class by using these three member variables. Otherwise, if I want to get the full details, what I need to do, I need to define all my members in this class as well. So there is no need, right? I already have one class which is having required information. So instead of
Yes,
creating the member variables again and again, I can reuse it.
yes.
So that's
So
where,
Ananda,
uh,
can we run this program?
yeah, we can run it. But here we need to change something here. Instead of that thing, now we need to create the object for our manufacturer class. Instead of
We need to do this also.
which one? No, no, we no
We
need
need
to
to do
do
get
a product. We can only we can directly do this with this access modifier. And here,
get
what I can do is I no need to do anything here inside my product. Sorry, inside my manufacturer class, I can assign the values product ID equal to 1. So product ID equal to 1, product product ID. Okay, here we can able to access obj even for this dot product details we can't able to, but here only we can able to access it. Here okay, can able to access it. Define product dot equal to. So then with this p we can able to provide the value for this, and we can able to provide the value for this, and we can able to provide value for this. And at the same time, if you see here, with this object I can able to call this product details method, and I can able to execute. So then once we able to execute, all the members of the particular product class will be inherited to this manufacturer class. So if I want to define the
So
variables for the manufacturer class, I can able to define it. So let me do one thing here
So we
to to
at the bottom we are declaring a object for a product manufacturer. At
yes.
the top we are declaring for a
No, no,
product
this is
class.
not like this. Just give me a minute. So how we can assign the values for our this thing protected protected access modifier. This one sim derived. Okay, okay. we can able to access these members, product ID, product name, but where we need to initialize those members here. In order to initialize, you definitely need to create the object for our product class. But if I want to create the object, then what I need to do is here only I am declaring one ABC price is 10,000. Here only I am declaring. Let's try to execute. So we can able to access our. Let me show you the variables. Here what we did is this member, these members are belongs to the product class, right? These three members, product ID, product name, product price is belong to the product class. So, but where we are executing this product details, where we are having this method, get product details, where
in
we
product
have the product manufacturer
in product
class. So once I
yes.
declare the object for my product manufacturer class, I can able to make use of this product ID, product name, product price from the product class as those are declared the protected members. As those are declared the protected members. If I try to change this to the private, so see here we are giving an error. Here we are getting an error here. Product ID. So where we change that to from protected to the private, we changed it, and as we change that access modifier as a private, inside the derived class, we are not able to access it. This inside the child class, we are not able to access it here. Okay, so let me repeat again. So the purpose of the this protected access modifier is if I have a class, I have couple of methods or member variables. I want to give the access my particular member variables and member methods to the another class which is inheriting for that from that class, which is inheriting from that class. At that time, we need to use this protected. At that time, we need to use this protected. So did you understand, Muzaffar?
Yeah, sure.
So can you please explain how you understand this one?
For the protected one, we are creating a product class, and we are declaring the member variables for it, and we
Mm-hmm.
declared as protected for it,
Mm-hmm.
and we are creating another class which is a product manufacturer, and we are inheriting the product class in that, and by
Product, yes.
declaring it, yeah, and we are declaring member variables, and we are declaring it as public, and we are calling the get product details method in that, and we are passing the values of the product ID, product name, product price
Yeah. So
in this one. And
basically, how we can explain here is whenever we declare a protected access modifier for your member variables and member method, so those can be accessed in your child class. So
okay,
simple understanding what we can say is in your child class, if you want to access your parent class members and methods, you can declare them as a protected members or methods. Then in your child class, you can simply access it. So that is the
Okay, but
purpose
Madan
of
bhai,
this.
in child class we are giving public.
Yeah, no problem. Why I gave the public here is this I can able to access with this object, and I can provide the values.
Okay, okay.
So for
Okay,
that
product
purpose only,
manufacturer.
we can we are just creating it. Okay, but if
Okay,
there is any other class where it gonna be inherit from the product manufacturer class, then again you need to give it protected. If some other class is going
okay.
to inherit from this class, then you need to
Yes,
give
yes.
them as a protected.
Yeah, for this first product class,
Mhm.
we haven't created a what you say object for that. Where we have
Yes.
created an
No, no, we haven't created the object. So directly I'm assigning the
or
values like
directly you
this.
are assigning. Okay,
So
okay, okay, okay. I got it.
instead of creating the object and assigning the values, directly I'm assign the values here.
Okay, okay, Madan. That is also very easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is one thing, and let's go to the another one, which is called as protected. Sorry, internal. So what is that internal means? If you see here, I have the uh, project name which is called as practice. Okay, inside that practice, I declare one class which is called as program. Okay, for inside that class we have this product class and product manufacturer class and program class like this. Okay, so as it is a class here, if I want to access my class by another class, if I clear the another class here, so like this, add class, I'm going to create one more class here with the name class 1. So I created one more class here, from one class to another class. So in this program, in this particular project, we have two classes. Class 1 is there and class 2 is there. Okay, and if I create the one more project into that particular solution, from one project to the another project, if I try to access the one class methods or one class methods or properties from one project to the another project. Okay, so let me give you kind of idea here. So what is this internal here is if I have a particular project, so inside that particular project from one class to another class, I can easily access it. But if I create the another project with the same solution, then it will be like this: add new project, console application. Okay. Here I have two projects. One is practice project and console application. One is another project. From here to here, I want to uh, exchange my member variables, or I want to work with the classes of this practice project to the console application project. Okay, then
You
what
want
we
to
need to
transfer
do
it.
is you need to specify the that particular access modifier as a internal. Okay, then only your class can able to access outside of the project. Till now we had a discussion inside the project only. Okay,
Yes.
inside the project from one class to the another class, if we want to exchange the information, then we use it the private, protected intern, sorry, private, protected and public. Okay, but outside of the project, I have the two projects in my solution. From one project to another project, I want to share the information. I want to access one
Okay.
information from one project to the another project. That's where our internal keyword will help us. So how that will be help us here is for this class, if you put as a internal as a internal as a keyword, internal as a keyword, that will be accessed from one project to the another project.
Okay.
Okay, so that's where this internal keyword will help us. Internal keyword will help us to access the mm, uh, to access the classes from one project to the another project. From one project to the another project, if you want to access your classes, then you need to use this internal as a keyword for your class or for your member variables as well. Inside the class member variables also you can declare the internals. Okay, so that's where you can use this internal access modifier. And we have the another access modifier which is called as protected internal. So what is this protected internal here is if I want to access the one class information from one project to the another project, which is inherited with the process of inheritance. So then
Okay.
we can use this protected internal. What I can say is before this, I can give the one more word which is called as protected,
Internal.
protected, protected, protected internal. That means
Hmm.
whatever the project is inheriting from one project to the another project, inside that only I can able to access it. So that is called as protected internal. So in our most of the application, we use this private, protected and private, public and protected. Okay, and in very rare scenarios, we are using internal and the protected internal. Okay, so let me repeat again. So this internal access modifier will help us to work between the projects. Okay, if I have the two
Yes.
projects in my solution, from one project to another project, I want to share the information. Okay, then you need to use this internal access modifier. Okay, and another
Yes.
one what we have is a protected internal. In between the particular projects which is inheriting from the another project, at the time we need to use this protected internal. Okay,
Okay.
so those are the two different keywords what we have: internal, protected, internal. Okay,
Yes.
so this is all about the this access modifiers.
Sure.
Okay, so basically access modifiers will help us to secure our information from one class to the another class or one project to the another project.
Yes.
Okay, so that is the use of access modifiers. And let me delete this one and let me delete this class as well. Okay, so we have this information. So private will this information will only be accessed for the particular class you can define within class only. Okay, so this we can say anywhere, anywhere protected inside derived class, class or child class Okay, internal inside another project. Okay, here inside derived project or class, inside the derived project or class. So are you able to understand, Muzaffar, this? So simply I define like this. Muzaffar.
Got it. Yeah, one is within the class and public is anywhere, and protected is inside derived class and it can be inherited to child class.
Yeah.
Internal inside a one project, and protected internal is derived inside the project with the inheritance concept.
Yes. So
Yes.
this is all. Simply we can remember the access modifiers. Okay. If you see here, for this class, we haven't declared any access modifier, right? For this class, so did we declare any access modifier while declaring the class itself? Did we declare any access modifier?
No,
No. By default, what will be?
by default it will be private.
No, no. So this is a very important question. So for a class, by default, access modifier will be internal
Okay, okay.
for a class. Okay. Inside the members of a particular class, inside the member variables or member methods of a class, by default it will be the private. But for this class, by default it will be the internal.
Okay, madam. Access modifier will be internal. I am writing down also.
Yes, yes. So this is one important question. So interviewer will ask, what is the default access modifier for a class? Okay. So then we need to say internal is the access modifier for a class, but inside the members or inside the member variables or member methods, by default access modifier is private. Okay. So that's how we can answer the question.
Okay, madam. Bhai.
Yeah. So that is the thing. And let's see what are other concept we have. Properties. Yeah. So here the other very important concept in C Sharp is properties. Okay. So let's see how the properties will help us to provide the security. Let's before going to the properties, I will give kind of theory where we need to use this properties. Okay, let's see how we can. Okay, so what I can do here is I'm going to remove everything. Yeah, so let it be like this. I'm going to remove this one for our simplicity. Removing this one. I'm removing these default values. Okay, so this is the thing. Another thing what we have toolchat. Wait a second, Muzaffar. So here I'm removing these default values. Okay, this is the thing. I'm removing this class here instead of a project, sorry, a product manufacturer. I'm declaring it as a product here. Okay, so now the intention is I want to provide the values to my particular member variables of a class. How we are providing the values for our member variables with the object dot
Yes.
sorry,
Get product.
protected public, let it public public object dot product ID. Here product ID I'm giving as one, object dot product name I'm giving it as ABC, object dot product price equal to 10,000. Like this, I declare the variables. I assign the values to my particular class member variables through the object. Okay, and I am going to print my values like this. If I try to execute program, I can able to see the output product ID, product name, product price, which we already seen. Okay, let me
Yes.
show you the drawbacks of that particular this particular approach. Let me show you the drawback of this particular approach. See, what is the drawback of this particular approach is here for my product I am passing it as uh, minus value as minus 200. It is taking, right? And for this
Yes.
name I'm giving this one. For this price also I'm giving it as minus 300, 3000. Is it the right
Yes.
numbers, Muzaffar, for the
No.
product price?
No.
Is it the right numbers?
No. No. Minus is not.
And at the same time product ID also minus we are giving, which is
Yes.
which is not the right number. So when I'm
But
trying to
still we are.
execute, is it able to give any error?
No. 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 It's executing.
It's executing as usual, right? Okay.
Yes.
So the problem with this direct member variable declaration or member variable declaration is there will be no restriction to your member variable while assigning the values. If I assign the
Okay.
value to the unusual values, it is not saying anything here. It is simply taking those values. Whatever the values you are giving, it is taking those values and it is printing those values. So in order to do such kind of restrictions or in order to do such kind of validations for your member variables values, then we need to use these properties. Let's see how we can do that, and at the same time some other advantages also there for those properties, and we will see those things as well. So here what the disadvantage we were able to see. So even though we are giving the negative value which is not the correct value for the product ID, and at the same time a negative value for the product price, we are not able to check any validation here. We are not able to check any kind of validations. Okay, so by default it is not, we are not providing any kind of validation here. So in order to
Yeah.
do by default validation for our member variables value assignment, what we can do is we can use this properties. Let's see how we can work with the properties. Here we have get and set properties are there. So how we can work with the get and set properties here is so this is the, let's remove this one as well. This is a old approach, old in the sense previous approach. Method one which we followed, okay, and method 2 which I am writing now. Class, this is product class we are declaring, product class, where we are having the ID,
Madan bhai, after these properties, is there anything you wanna teach, or we can
no, no,
stop?
we can stop it in this properties. So it's about completion of 15 minutes time. So let's let's
No
complete
problem.
this. Okay,
No
so
problem.
product is the my class where we have the product ID, product ID, and we have the product ID, and we have product ID here. Okay, so how we can
Okay.
work with the properties is property is nothing but a set and get get method. Property is nothing but a combination of get and set methods. Property is
Okay.
nothing but a combination of get and set methods. What is the get method and what is the set method? If we see here, for this product ID, in order to declare a simple product ID, what we are doing here is we are declaring one product ID with the underscore name, which is type of private, and we do have the public variable which is called as product ID. Okay, and inside that we have a set method and we have a set method and we have a get method. What is the set
Yes.
method here is set method will help us to assign a value to your member variable. Set method is will help us to assign a value to your member variable, whereas get method will help us to retrieve that member variable value. Okay,
Okay.
let me repeat again. Property is nothing but a get and set methods. Property is nothing but a get and set method. So get method will help us to retrieve the value of a particular member variable, whereas set method will help us to assign the value of a member variable. Okay, so that is how
Mm.
we are working with these properties. If we see here, as I have a class, inside that class I declare one private variable with underscore product ID and public member variable with the product ID here. If someone trying to assign a value, here I am checking that value less than or equal to 0. I am giving an error message saying that ID not to be a negative value. I am not assigning that value if it is a negative. If it is not a
Okay.
negative, then only whatever the value user is passing, I am going to assign to your member variable. Okay.
Okay.
And when someone trying to get this one, I'm just returning that value. Whatever the value we already stored, that value we are going to return. Now what will happen here is, forget about these two. Okay, same thing we can able to do that. What happened here? Yeah, sorry, we don't have this method declared. Okay, this is the value. So forget about this one for now. Product ID, this one. If you see here, we are passing negative value. We are trying to pass the negative value here. When I'm trying to
Yes.
execute this one, it is giving an error saying that ID is not to be a negative value. Okay,
Yes.
or else what we can do is, here instead of assigning that value, we can write a console.writeLine statement, console.writeLine, saying that
Value is negative.
value is not negative. Okay, then if someone trying to enter, here we are giving that value not negative. Okay, that's how we can give the error message to the end user. And at the same time, if you doesn't want to execute this one, we can also keep this one on that particular line of code. Only the value will not enter here. If it is not equal to 0, then only it will enter, and if it is else only, if it enter, then only we can able to assign that value here. Okay, so if I try to execute this one, so whatever the value we passed as a minus 2000 is not assigning that value to our variable here. Okay, so that's how we can restrict our assigning the values to our member variables. So how we are restricting those member variables? So we are declaring a property here. Okay, so while declaring the property, we have a get and set methods. Get method will retrieve the values, and whereas set method will set the values to your member variable. While setting this value, we can have a check here. So this check will help us to avoid the unusable values. Okay, so that's where our properties will help us. Okay, another this is one way of creating the property. Another way of creating the property is very simple: auto properties. So auto properties, in the sense, what I can say is property. This is how we can able, instead of doing this all stuff, what we can able to do is, you can remove this one. You can directly use this a private public variable only. Directly you can use this public variable. So this is how we can able to create. So so if I declare the value like this, public value, get method and set method. Set method will help us to assign a value by using the check condition, whereas get method will useful to retrieve the values. So the other advantage of this property here is, you can make the particular member variable as a read only. You can make the particular member variable is read only member variable. What does it mean is, Read only means you can only read, you cannot update the value. So how we can do that one is, for example, I have a member variable which is called as public. Let's see how we can properties. My member variable name is sorry, not here. Here I'm going to declare one member variable. My member variable name is product price. Product price is there. So here in that product price, I don't want to anyone set a value to my product price. There is an administrator who will provide the price for that particular product. The others will can only read that value, not to update the value. Okay. So if that is the case, what I can do is, so if I remove the set method from my property, then it will be only read-only property, not the updatable property. So how we can say, let's see here. I'm going to declare, I'm going to access my product price, and I'm trying to assign a value as price as 2000 or 200. Okay, so it is giving an error. It's saying that property or index particular cannot be assigned to, it's a read only. So how it can be read only? We remove this set method here. We only
Yes.
put the get method. So we haven't put the set method. If you put the set method without writing any code, it will be like a read. It will be like a read and write method. But we haven't put that set method here. That's where it become the read only member. That's where
Okay.
it become the read only member. Okay, so that's
Okay.
how we can make use of the properties. So the advantage of the properties in C#.NET is you can provide the validation checks while assigning the values to your member variables. That is one important advantage with the properties. And other advantage of this property here in our C# programming is read-only implementation. If I want to make my particular member variables as a read-only members, then I can use this properties get or set. If I remove the set property set method from my property, then it will become the read-only property.
Read only.
Then it will become the read-only properties. Okay, so now to make you understand very clear, I want you to help me to write one program about this concept of properties. My intention is uh, I have a subject. Subject is my class name. Sorry, subject is my class name, where it has the subject ID. Okay, and subject name and subject pass mark. Subject ID, subject name, subject
Okay.
pass mark. Okay, first
Yes.
I want to declare a class, and in normal method we will proceed with the declaration of a class, and we will print the values, and again we will see how we can do with this from the properties. Let's start here. So how we can do that? Normal approach. In normal approach, how we can do that? My
Yes.
class name is
By
subject.
class
First
subject.
class. My
Subject.
class name, I'm giving it as subject
Subject.
is my class name. So what are the members we need? Subject ID we need,
Subject.
subject name
Subject
we
ID.
need, subject name
Yeah.
we need,
Int.
and pass marks we need. So let's make
Int.
it as public
Public.
int
subject
subject
ID,
ID. Okay. Yeah. Public.
public, subject name, you say
Yeah.
string, subject name,
String.
string, subject name,
Subject name. Okay.
public,
Public.
uh, subject
Marks.
marks, you say
Yes.
marks. We can use marks is numbers, which int,
Either one. Let's
so,
take integer or float, anything.
integer, integer,
Int. Subject.
subject,
Pass marks. It's
marks,
not the marks.
pass,
Pass marks.
yeah.
Pass marks. Okay.
And
So
we are
to print the values, I need a method. So how
yes,
we can declare a method?
creating an object
No,
for
no.
the
How we
subject
are?
class.
No, no. How we are to print these values? We need a method. Like get all subject details, something like we need a method.
Yeah,
Public
so public
void
what
get subject
subject details
details. Okay. Here console dot
console
write line.
read line,
Okay.
the given the
Subject
ID,
details are
subject
subject
ID
ID, which is zero,
zero
zero,
space subject
subject name,
name
which
one
is 1, subject pass marks, which is 2,
two is subject ID comma subject name comma
subject ID, comma, subject name,
comma
subject pass marks. Okay. So in order to assign the values, what we need to do in order
object
to subject obj,
subject
so subject obj, like it's as it is, as we are going to create the object for subject class, let it be like a meaningful name subject obj equal to
or new
new
new subject
subject. Okay.
sub obj dot
Sub
get subject
obj. Now before that we need to pass the values, right?
yeah
Then only
we
you
can
can
pass
print
it
the values. So
yes yes
id equal to 1 and subject dot obj dot name equal to English subject dot box marks equal to, so for English we do have 35 as a pass marks. Okay, and we have a
yes
another method subject dot get subject details. Okay, which will print the values like this: subject ID, subject name, and pass marks. Okay,
yes
so we were able to do this. And now the disadvantage of this approach is, you please explain the disadvantage. What is the
yeah
disadvantage here? For the
for
subject
if
ID, I can mention anything. Okay,
yes
and
yes
for this
you get
pass mark, I can change it 0. So every student will get pass, right?
yeah
Uh, if I set
yeah
the subject marks pass marks as 0, every student
yeah
will get pass. Okay, so so we need to avoid such kind of things. Okay, now let's change our things with the properties. So how we can declare a property? like this. So
Okay.
prop just place like this and press tab for twice. Automatically
Yes.
it will give the property here. So our property name is subject ID. Give it
Subject
here.
ID.
Get is there,
Get set.
set is there. Okay. So if I want to
And
give the get and set condition, what I can do is I can simply write my condition like this. Whatever the condition I want to write, I can write it. In between these two, I can write my condition here. Okay. So here my subject ID is my variable name. Give it here and give it
subject.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. So simple
And we
here.
can write console or read line
Yeah.
in
So
the middle.
yeah, here instead of throwing this one, we can simply write that one. Okay. So this is the thing. Get set, set the subject ID, which is the remove this one from the top. Okay. So we can able to create the properties like this. So for example, for student subject pass mark, if I don't want to allow anyone to edit the particular value, what I can do is for this also we can able to create property. Instead we can able to create it here. We can able to create one property, this with, okay, here I will
Get.
put only get only, not for the set. Okay,
Yeah. Only for
then
create.
automatically it will not allow to edit the value, so it will give an error. So we can able to read that value, but we can't able to what I mean to say is we can't able to modify that value here. So that's
Set
where,
the value.
okay, it's a read only method. So simple thing, what we need to understand here with the properties, properties are useful in our CSharp program to provide the validation, and also it will help us to make any of the any of our member variables are read-only member variables. Those are the two
Mhm.
advantages we have the properties.
Okay.
So